guys? We're back from hiatus. This is the Emo Album Revival Podcast, and I am your host, Ramiro, and my great co-host, Alex, is
What's
joining us.
up? We are back from the hiatus, whatever they call it.
We're back from hiatus. It's been a
Yeah,
long time.
it's been, dude. We've been gone since last year. What the hell, man?
Yeah, dude, it's been crazy. Work has been crazy, and
Yeah, dude. It's 2018 definitely was interesting, and then 2019 has had a very I can't even talk. See, interesting start to 2019, man. It's been hectic for sure.
yeah, it's work for me has been crazy. Just been traveling and just yeah,
Yeah.
it's just crazy, man. I'm living off a suitcase right now,
Uh,
but it's worth it in the end.
So some of you that don't know, Ramiro he works for a news station, so he's out there covering all these stories and everything that's going on. And then I'm pretty sure you've been busy with the government shutdown.
Not really. We've just been busy with like local Las Vegas news, but I mean, we have been seeing like the effects here because McCarran Airport here in Las Vegas is really huge, and TSA workers were having a hard time, and
Yeah, I mean
it's been pretty crazy.
it's been crazy. They're open now, obviously, but it's I'm pretty sure for news stations, you guys are just trying to cover everything you can.
Pretty much. And what about you, dude? What's going on, man? I haven't
Man,
talked to you in a while.
it's crazy, I do like photo and video stuff, and having your own like business or whatever you're doing on your own, like it's not always the easiest. So you always have to be on your toes looking for jobs, and just like it gets crazy, in like everything in entertainment or in entertainment industry and stuff, like things get slow, things get busy, so it fluctuates a lot. So it can be stressful for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. So I mean, what's is it New Year, new you, or is it New Year, same you?
It's New Year, try to survive. It's one of those things.
I see, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, have you been hitting up the gym? Is there any New
Oh,
Year's resolutions that you're doing?
yeah, definitely. Gym is. I've always tried to keep gym in, but gym is definitely one I've been doing. And New Year's resolutions, I mean, I didn't really have any this year, just because I know that if I make any and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then I just don't end up doing it, and I'm just like feel shittier just because of it. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go with the flow.
Yeah,
Whatever
yeah.
happens, happens.
I just try to keep it the same. I don't, just I don't like changing it up.
Yeah.
I think I'm doing good, and I've been going to the gym since last year, so it's just like just keeping that routine is really important.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Everybody's New Year's resolution should just be a good person, and that's it. If you're a good
I think,
person, then you're good.
yep, be a good person, and then the other stuff falls through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
but
definitely. But yeah, man, we're back with the emo album revival podcast, and we're excited because we're stoked to see that a lot of you still have been listening, even though we took some time off, and you guys are pretty stoked about it, right? You were looking at analytics earlier, and Ramiro was looking at it, and he was telling me of all these like cities and stuff, right?
yeah, there's a lot of cities that listening to us, and we thank you guys, and it's really awesome, and just it's very humbling to see this, and that we could continue doing this, and we're just gonna keep growing the show, and I know we've been promising you guys guests, and we're gonna get that soon.
Yeah,
um, People from the industry, friends, anybody that on IG that wants to get up in here with us and talk. uh, we're just regular scene kids that are still in love with this music that's coming out, and I
yeah,
don't care what you
definitely.
guys I don't care what you guys say about the new Bring Me the Horizon album. I love it.
Oh, dude. Oh my God. Is that
Fuck
like?
fuck everybody that says it sucks, because you guys really are not listening to it.
Dude, I mean, that is like, it is stirring the pot up for sure. Like Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. Like everybody has something to say about it. And you know what's crazy? Like you bring up that topic. It's good. I mean, I like it personally. For me, it's not Bring Me the Horizon. If you look at it in a pop aspect, it's a good pop album. But if you look at it from as like a Bring Me the Horizon in the Bring Me the Horizon like aspect point of view, it's like of course people are gonna be like, what the hell is this? Like this isn't Bring Me the Horizon, but it's a good pop record. To me, how I feel, I mean, I love the band and I love Bring Me the Horizon. Like, Sempiternal was like one of the freaking best
Yeah.
albums to me. Like that album changed a lot for me. But um I almost feel as if this record was like something Oli wanted to do, and he could have easily done this as a side project, but he brought Bring Me the Horizon into it, and everybody was just like, okay, fuck it, like, let's do it. So it was like, it was almost like as if they were just like, okay, like, well, yeah, we want to evolve. And then Oli was just like, all right, well, let's fucking go straight pop. And they were just like, they went along with it. They're like, I'm down. But I mean, it's good. I like it. I mean, you have to listen to it a couple times, like you said. If you're not listening to it and you're just talking shit right off the bat, you need to open your mind up and your ears.
And I mean, and I have to disagree with you on like them. Like for me, it's been coming. Like I know that it's like Sepaternal, and then uh, their what was their other album?
Uh,
Sorry, man. I'm just
that's the
fucking.
spirit.
That's
Well,
the
that's the
spirit.
newer
Like
one. The
yeah,
before this one.
and then Amo. Like I knew that this was coming. Like we all should have.
Yeah.
We were already waiting. Like I was already waiting for this album to come out. To be honest with you,
Oh yeah,
because like
definitely.
they used to be grindcore,
Yeah,
and then
definitely.
they softened up, and then they softened up again, which is not a bad thing. It's not a
Yeah.
bad thing.
No, I mean
You can
it's
still you can still hear the core of in Amo from like from their first albums.
yeah.
Like you can still hear the core of it.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
I can't like for me it's like it's crazy, dude. Like when I listen to it, I could hear the hardcore in it. I could hear the grindcore in it, but it's like not truly there. The formula's there, and like you're an artist, and you've written music and stuff like that. Whenever you're in a band, you have a formula. They still have that formula,
hmm
but it's just in a different, like experimental way for them to like express what they could also do. So it's like making them even better as artists.
yeah, definitely. I mean, there's definitely Bring Me the Horizon roots in there, because that's never gonna change. But it's definitely. I knew it was coming. I knew that they were evolving. I feel like this album definitely was like a huge, like, change in a way. I mean, to me, like I said, to me, I understand from the artist side where you get sick of writing the same crap. You get sick of playing the same songs. You get sick of playing the same style. Like, it's like, just think about it. Like, you're at a job for, 10 years and you're doing the same thing every single day and doing the same shifts, and you get bored at some point. You're like, I want a different job. It can get the same with music. You write the same music, same style, same everything, same venues, and you're like, well, if we have the opportunity to rise as a band and grow and evolve and get new opportunities, then why not? If you're allowed to do it, because not everybody in the way is allowed to do it. Not that like bands are being shut down to do it, but like that your fans are allowing you to do it, because a lot of Bring Me the Horizon fans are pissed and a lot of them are actually stoked. But they transitioned into it, like you said, like starting from Sempiternal into That's the Spirit. They were already introducing this slowly. So they were kind of like sliding into the DMs real smooth, and then bam.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's cool. I get it. A lot of people are not gonna understand it and they're gonna be confused, but they'll eventually grow into it, I think.
But it's also like we got to look at it the business aspect as well. Is that do they want to continue doing what they're doing, or do they want to jump to the next level?
Yeah.
Do they want to keep doing this for another 10 years? Like
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
it's the livelihood. It's the livelihood of the band. If they would have turned out another Sepaternal album or That's the Spirit album, that's kind of scary for a band because like okay, like you're gonna just stay with the same followers, the same income. Like you got to look at it in that
Yeah.
aspect too. It's like they have to jump to the next level, which is how could we reach more people? And I go back. I'm gonna go back to like you know um, sleeping with sirens.
Yeah.
What do they do? You know, like it's the same thing. They transition themselves into a broader spectrum for like listeners. Like they wanted
Yeah.
to get into more mainstream, and I have nothing against that. It's like
Yeah.
some people will say like, oh yeah, I'm mad that they don't produce the same music, but they are the same musicians. It's just that they're growing up. They want to have a longer career. You
Yeah.
know, like
I mean, I feel like Sleeping with Sirens definitely has had a harder time being accepted by the fans as far as their transition. Like, I think everybody was just kind of like, oh, like, okay, whatever. Like, they just moved on, but for some reason, like, I don't know why that is going on with them in a way. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're still, selling, and they can sell at arenas and all that. But Bring Me the Horizon definitely, I feel like, was one of those bands where it it just like they say, it like broke the internet because everybody was like, what the hell is going on? Like, what how is it possible? Like, how is this band that started more than 10 years ago, that was just like a grindcore band, now doing like some chain smoker fucking Halsey sounding shit now? You know what I mean? Like, that's like, everybody is tripping out because that's not in the book. That's not like the way you're supposed to do things. That's not in the music industry. That is just not heard of. You know what I mean? Because you get bands that do the same shit for so many years, and it's not that they're a bad band, or they're not evolving as musicians or anything, but they just kind of get stuck in that scene or genre, and they get scared to break out of it, even if it's something that they want to do. They're kind of just like you said, from a business aspect, they're kind of like, whoa, that can really hurt us. And Bring Me the Horizon was just kind of like, well, I don't give a fuck. Like, we're gonna do what we want, and if it does good, and if it doesn't, who cares? Like, that's just who we are. But yeah, it's just, I mean, I like it. I've listened to the album at the gym a couple times and here and there, and there's some songs on there that I'm just like, okay, I don't really understand why they did this, but okay, cool, like, and then they still have like some heavier riffing and all that, so I'm
you can hear it in there. You can hear
yeah,
it in there.
yeah, definitely. And it's one of those albums that you have to like listen, you listen to it on your phone or whatever. You hear a song or two, whatever, out of your phone speaker, and you're like, okay, cool. Then you listen to it on headphones. You're like, okay, like, nice. You started listening to it on better like sound systems or whatever it is, or you like actually like dive into it. You're like, oh shit, like this is dope.
I mean, and do you think Emarosa is gonna come out with the new album as well, and they're are changing it up too? So it's gonna be another band that's gonna break the
Yeah,
internet again with us seeing kids like
yeah.
either getting upset or being really happy and then like understanding their music.
Definitely, Emarosa has been a band that's been evolving every album. It's expected of them, I think, more for Emarosa to evolve. But all I can say is, on that new song, all I can say is 1975. It's straight fucking the band 1975 with Emarosa playing instead of the 1975. I like it. I mean, it's cool. And I see where they're going with it, definitely. And I expected it from them, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's no Johnny Craig band anymore, and
No,
that's apparent.
that's
That's
that's that's long gone.
yeah, it's super long gone, and I know that a lot of seeing kids that we grew up with and we're friends with, or we follow on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, they're still on Johnny.
Yeah,
It's just because we never got that album that he could truly show his like
yeah, but
potential.
he gave us like 20 other fucking projects. you got
Yeah,
you got Dance Gavin's Dance, and then you got Slaves, and then you got his solo stuff. So I mean, he did give a lot of his stuff. And I mean, now, like, I don't know if you heard recently, he kind of fell back, and they're doing the rehab thing again
yeah.
with him. So hopefully, I mean, Johnny, you have an amazing voice. If you're, I don't know if you ever listen to this or anything, but I mean, hopefully that guy gets better, man. He has talent, but he just has that problem, you know. And I understand it's hard. Addiction is not easy. It's not, you know, it's nothing to mess around with. It's difficult.
Hey, dude, nothing against him. I still have faith in him that he could come back.
Yeah,
He just, I don't know anything about drug addiction.
yeah,
You know, like I don't. So I can't speak, you know, and say like, oh yeah, I know how it is. I have no drug addiction.
yeah.
You know, I drink occasionally, but it's just, you know, it's just with
It's yeah.
friends here and there. But it would be great to see that dude come back and just wow us again, like how he did when the first album with Dance Gavin Dance. You know, like
Just how he has done all the
yeah,
last couple of years. I mean, he falls in and out of it, and you know it's fucked up as it sounds in a way. Like it's crazy. Like you know, he's on the drugs, but in a way, like maybe that's what makes Johnny Craig be an amazing artist. And it sucks because it's there's that saying that is they say like um a great musician is a broken musician. So it's like it's people, you know, like people who write amazing songs or do amazing art are like usually the most broken people, the ones that are hurting the most, the ones that are going through the most, that are ones that are, you know, in addictions and stuff, and they create the most amazing art. So in a way it's like that could possibly be Johnny Craig, but we don't want that for him, you know what I mean? We want him to be healthy and clean. But hopefully we'll see if he recovers, and then if he comes back with a new band or something, and we'll have
yeah,
another Johnny Craig project.
yeah. I mean, but and also we're expecting a new Issues album this year, correct?
Yeah, I'm stoked for that. Hell yeah, that's gonna be sick.
That's gonna be another one
That's
that's
gonna
gonna
be yeah.
all these albums that are we're anticipating are gonna change the game.
It's I feel like this is it. I mean, um I know for a fact that a lot of these bands have been wanting to do this, and they've been wanting to evolve, and they've been wanting to change, and they've been wanting to kind of go into the pop side of the world because the scene has always had that pop aspect, you know, the super heavy, you know, breakdowns and everything, and then super poppy melodic choruses. So it's always been there. It's always been like an influence. So now bands are kind of like, okay, fuck it, like Bring Me the Horizon and bands like Emarosa are just pushing for it. We can
Hmm.
all do it now. We can all have a new world of, you know, creation and music and writing. So it's definitely bands like Issues, Bring Me the Horizon, and Numerosa are pushing those boundaries and, you know, evolving this scene, whatever's going on, you know.
Yeah, it's for me. I think where these bands are going, where these labels are going, is just like they want to kind of fuse in with the mainstream because to
Yeah,
survive you have to go against the mainstream, but I don't think they want to go against them,
yeah.
and you have to kind of like find a middle ground to even compete with them or even, you know, because I don't know, like now I think about like music more of an industry as
Mhm.
well. Like
Yeah.
it's just like I'm trying to think, okay, like if I was in a band, how do I want to stay, you know, playing longer and keep living up my dream and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's a business, and businesses do the same thing all the time. They rebrand. You know, it's whatever it is. It's like you own a business, a company, or something, and then you have that same style or look for a while, and then you rebrand after a couple years because it's gonna keep your business afloat. You know, you gotta adjust to the new things. You know what I mean? So same with music. I mean, a lot of bands are kind of, I think, feel like they're scared in a way because, you know, of the business side, but Bring Me the Horizon and all that, like that's pushing those doors open for everybody. Kind of going like, all right, well, you know, here we go. We open the door for everybody, so you guys are more than welcome to go and do whatever the hell you want now. So that Issues album, I'm that's gonna be an interesting one for sure.
I mean, do you think that I mean like do you think there's still a market for deathcore, grindcore,
Um,
metalcore, going back to kind of like the, you know, Bring Me the Horizon thing? Do you think there's still a market for that and for people to go see these shows?
I feel that there is. Um, it's just kind of getting smaller in a way. I feel like hardcore is taking a it's going full circle. I think like just like all trends and like fashion does. So hardcore, the hardcore scene was was like an underground like scene, you know what I mean? It was like an underground community. The hardcore scene has always been that, like especially like the more hardcore bands like Terror and all that, like the super like closer community underground, right? And then 2006, 2007, 8 came around, and the screamo scene, whatever, this whole like generation of kids like us or whatever like came out and started fusing this hardcore scene with kind of like a pop scene. So then that's when you got like, you know, the screamo band and Pierce the Veil and like all the bands like that were mixing this heavy music with pop. I feel like the scene or the music now is transitioning back to more of a pop style. Obviously, everybody, like you said, is trying to kind of go mainstream in a way to stay afloat. And I feel like the hardcore scene is coming back to its underground, closer community because it's these bands are kind of separating themselves from this thing that they had fused with, and they grew with it, and it's like, okay, we're moving on, and the hardcore community is still there, because the hardcore music community has always been, it's not going to be mainstream. It's huge, but it's not going to be mainstream. It's always going to kind of keep underground. So I feel like it's coming back full circle where it's going to come back to the underground, and it's going to be, the hardcore bands are going to be doing those shows, those house shows, those smaller venues, back to like what it was a couple of years ago. As far as that, I think there's still a market, definitely. Kids are always going to go to shows. Kids are always going to want to buy merch and not CDs, but listen to music now on Spotify or whatever. It's just going to be up to the bands to adapt to whatever comes their way and go with it. But yeah, I mean, I don't think the music will ever die. It's just like the punk scene, you know what I mean? Like got huge. Punk got huge like in the 80s, 90s. It was like a big thing, the Ramones and everybody were getting big, but punk was an underground scene before that. There was a couple bands that got huge. They got a lot of, recognition, got big, and then what happened? Those bands kind of moved on or they died out, and then the punk scene came back to the underground again. And there's still a punk scene, there's still a market, but it's underground, I mean? It's not for everybody, I guess you could say. So I think that's what's happening with hardcore right now. It's kind of going back into the underground scene again. So we'll see.
Yeah, and I guess it goes full circle because
Yeah.
like if you really are looking for that specific music, you'll go and find it,
Yeah.
right? Is
Yeah.
that's basically what it
Yeah.
is?
I mean, yeah, it's just definitely it hard like it's like country, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people like country, a lot of people don't, and it's not for everybody. It's a really niched genre. So is hardcore. Like not everybody likes screaming and heavy breakdowns, So it's a really niched community and genre. So it's always gonna be like when you look for it, you go to that certain side of the music world, and look for that. There's a lot of hardcore bands that are still big though. I mean, like that's like hardcore metal. Like that, I don't want to just say hardcore, but it's like hardcore metal music, whatever. Like it's that whole like genre of music. There's bands that are still selling arenas and stuff. So there's still a huge market for it. You just gotta be able to know how to break through it. Yeah. So, um, yeah, it's gonna be
And it's gonna
interesting.
and it's
Interesting year for music.
it. No, it is. And then of course this is going to be the first year that we don't have a full Warp Tour.
Yep.
So that's going to change up everything. Like when are bands going to be releasing their albums? Is it still going to be in the same time? Uh,
Yeah.
and we talk about Warp Tour a lot, but Warp Tour does really shape the industry and the scene because that's when albums come out.
Big
They
time.
come out when bands are going to go tour on Warp Tour because they will hit every city, every
Exactly.
major city in the United States. And now it's like, okay, what are the labels going to do to replace Warp Tour? How are they going to get those bands out there? And it's crazy because now I'm starting to see more shows that have six bands.
Exactly. Like back in the day.
back in the day, that's how it used to be.
Yeah.
You get 6 bands in one tour.
Yeah.
There you guys go. And lately, like, when Warped Tour was going on, like the last 5 6 years, we weren't seeing that. We were only seeing 3 bands
Yeah.
on tour,
Yep.
maybe a fourth as a like a up and coming band,
Uh-huh.
but it's you don't see, like, we're not going to be seeing that anymore. I at least I think so. I think we're going to be seeing, you're going to get more bang for your buck seeing more bands in one show.
Yeah, and I talked about it before on here where um it's just one of those things where, like you said, Warp Tour was a huge platform for bands and labels. It was less risky for a label to sign a band right before summer and say, okay, you guys are doing good, we're gonna sign you guys, put you on Warp Tour, you're gonna hit every city like you said, and there's gonna be almost guaranteed some kids watching your band, that you just signed, whether it was even on Ernie Ball stage or like one of the smaller stage, you're guaranteed someone to see that band. Opposed to now, there's no warp tour. There's no Warp Tour, and you as a label, it's riskier business to say, okay, I'm gonna sign you guys, put you on a tour, even if it's a support act or if it's a main headline or whatever, and then now you have to spend the time to book all those days, spend the time to invest all that time and money into it, and do a lot more work as opposed to before, where Warp Tour was already half the work was already done for the labels. So we'll see how that goes with the labels now. And like you said, you're seeing tours now with a lot more bands. And what's crazy, even Warp Tour, I seen a tweet, I don't remember who it was, but I seen something along the lines that they were trying to invite Halsey to go
Oh yeah.
play one of the Warp Tour dates. I'm just like, okay, well, are they gonna do like a pop festival or what? What's going on? It's definitely gonna be bigger acts than like all these like bands that used to tour Warp Tour. So
Yeah, I mean, and then I think also the industry is losing out on free publicity in a sense, because when you would go to Warp Tour, and I know we talk a lot about Warp Tour, but it really is like, it does influence the scene.
yeah.
But when you would go, it's like, oh, who you gonna, like, you just be in line, either going to the restroom or going to get some food or some water. You're always talking to the person either in front of you or behind you,
Mhm.
and you'll be, you're always ready to answer. It's like, hey, like, they'll tell you like, hey, who are you gonna see next, or
Yeah.
who are you gonna see? Because I have like 2 hours that I don't have nothing to see. You go and look at your freaking schedule,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh yeah, you have to check out this band. They're awesome. Go check them out if you have time. And like, I mean, I've found so many bands just doing that, like with just
Yeah.
being in line, and people is like, oh, what are you watching? Oh, well, right now I have 2 hours to browse the
Yeah.
stages and see what I like.
Yeah. Just walk
Oh, well,
around.
check out this band. And then boom, like, I found bands that I really like.
Yeah. It was our community. It was our it's that community I'm talking about where you show up and it's a lot of like-minded people that like the kind of same kind of music, and you connect, and it's like our Wango Tango or whatever the hell, or our Coachella of the scene, and it's essentially it's gone now. I don't know if these Warp Tour dates that they're doing now will have the same feel as far as like kind of like the cross country tour, because when you went to one of the cross country dates, it almost felt like it was like it was like that one time of the year you were gonna go hang out with your friends and watch a bunch of bands. Even if it was with one friend that you went with, but it was like that one time of the year that you would go and like let loose and watch, hundreds of bands. Literally, you could in a day. And I don't know if that feeling is gonna still be there for these new like Warp Tour dates they're putting out, because it's like a 2-day festival. It's more of a festival than like a show in a way. Even though Warp Tour always kind of has been like a festival, but it always felt like a show. So we'll
Like a
see.
circus.
Yeah, like a freaking like yeah, like you were a part of the circus, man. Like you were just it was like that. Like it's like, oh, circus is coming in town. Like all my homies are here. So it felt that way, and with these new dates, especially if it's bigger acts. It's kind of like one of those things where it's going to be huge stages. You're not going to be as close to the artists, as close to the stages. It's not going to be that feel if it's that way. It's going to be more of a festival thing than it's going to be more of a Coachella kind of thing. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. I don't know anything else other than the dates right now, and a lot of people are the same. So
Yeah, and it's just a lot of changes that we're gonna have to get used to and see where the our scene is going.
yeah,
And because I say we, because we built it, we
yeah,
all have contributed some way or another, giving money to these
the
awesome
bands.
bands, these great people that are out there every single day going out and just giving it to their fans, basically us.
Yeah,
And you
definitely.
know, and talking about shows and stuff like that, and just we had one listener. She messaged us I
Yes.
on the IG,
On
which
the
is
Instagram.
if you guys want to follow us, emo album revival podcast. It's a mouthful, yes, but uh, give us a follow,
yeah.
message us, say hi. But we had this listener, blue eyed Virgo girl. She messaged us,
Ooh,
and
does she have blue eyes?
I mean, we could go check if she does.
Blue-eyed
Uh,
Virgo.
yeah,
Was
but blue eyed Virgo girl has a question for us,
what's
which is
up?
our first question from
A guess. I mean, not a guess.
from a guest,
Listener. Listener.
a listener. Yeah, from a listener.
Hit
Her
me with
question
it.
is,
Hit it.
all
Hit
right,
me with it.
if you could pick one band to play an entire album from beginning to end, who would it be and what album?
Woo. Okay. You want to go first on this one, or you want me to hit it?
I
You go first. You go first. You go first on this
I
one.
think yeah, the band that I would pick, and they no longer exist, which is sad to me,
I
is
think I
one of
know.
my.
I think I know who you're gonna say.
Who am I gonna say?
It's probably gonna be like Scary Kids, and it's probably Scary Kids.
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's not Scary Kids. I'm sorry, dude.
Oh, damn.
Dude, it's of Machines,
Oh,
and
okay.
the album is As If Everything Was Held in Place.
Man, dude, that band.
I I'll listen to the intro because it just builds up, and it's just like for me that album I can listen to it without pressing skip.
Yes.
I will
It's
listen to the entire album. It's just like banger after banger after banger, and it's just like came out in 2009. I was 19, going to college. Man, this thing was on repeat, and there's still days I'll go to the gym and I play this album. Oh man, it's just like inspirational. Like they did an awesome job, and if I could see that album played from beginning to end, I probably have like a couple black eyes.
yeah, that's a dope album, man. I remember listening to them, and they were kind of more on the ambient side of things as far as like guitars and writing. Like it was just a lot of delays with the heavy riffing. It's sick, man. I like it. It's a good one. That's a good one.
It's a great album, and I wish of course they only released that album, and it would have been nice to see them grow. But things happen with bands, and like these guys were possibly young, and things happen.
Yeah.
So
No,
it's just
for sure. That's a great album. It like I said, it was a lot of like the at the time I was into like a lot of the delay writing and guitars, and I was just like, yeah, this is sick. And of Machines, yeah, it's dope album. Heck yeah, man.
yeah. So
Uh, you have another one, or is that just the only one? You think you?
I mean, I would put not really. I mean, I would say, of course, Circa Survive, Blue Sky Noise.
Yeah,
I mean, who wouldn't?
banger right there.
Who wouldn't? But
yeah,
like that's like a typical answer. So that's my typical answer. Um, I'm sure you have one, but
dude.
I I would say Blue Sky Noise from beginning to end. I know.
For me, Circus Survive, Jaturna. I think one of them. If it was a Circus Survive album, it'd be Jaturna.
Yeah, that show was awesome.
Yeah,
I was there.
that
It was
dude.
awesome.
That's like
I died.
yeah, literally. that the album feels like when you listen to it, it feels like you're just sailing through the ocean and just like the air is just hitting your face and you're just like, okay, life is good.
No, it is. It
Yeah.
is. And I
Um.
think I think that's the like I think that's the albums that you pick that you would listen from beginning to end. Is just that it makes you feel like it's like a diary in a sense. Like
Yeah.
you remember the good old days, or
Yeah.
you know it might be bad days, but you still like look where I am now. And I used to listen to this album when I was down in the dumps, and now like you listen to it, it's like man, like I've grown as a person.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
nice
Definitely.
diary, and that's how
Yeah.
I see these albums. You know, they're it's a
Music.
nice little diary of how much I've grown.
Heck yeah. It's music is a. It's a weird. It's a weird diary because you could hear listen back and you're like, I remember what I was doing at the time when this came out or whatever. So it's cool. Dang, blue eyed girl, got us with this question. I think for me, see, I have like two records. I think there's one more on the mainstream side that I don't know if necessarily would um, be like from the scene. But I'm just gonna mention it anyways, and I'll get into the other one that I really from the scene that I would listen to front to back. But the first one is like one of my favorite records of all time, which is Blink 182, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. That's like my favorite band, my favorite record of all time. Everything from like sonically, like music wise and sound wise, like it just blew my mind when it came out. It sounds so good, and that's one of the records I could sing every lyric front to back, and I could listen to that whole record all the way through without a problem. And it's just one of those. And I mean, everybody fucking likes Blink. I mean, not everybody, but most. It's a mainstream album. But from the scene, if I had to listen to one record, you know, front to back, it has to be Pierce the Veil's "Selfish Machines." That record was just like freaking. It was like life changing as a musician for me because when Flair for a Dramatic came out, I was already like, damn, like this band's doing it, but they're doing it different. Like it's they had like a different like spice to their music. You know, if you that's like the best I could describe it. Like a different spice to the music from what was going on at the time. And then Selfish Machines came out, and I was just like, holy crap! Like the freaking just the writing on this record was amazing. Like it was so different than what was out. You know, even starting with Besitos, like that little like guitar riff lead that he was doing, and then into like other songs like Paraphernalia, and just like the whole record is just you can still listen back to it right now, and you'll find new things in that record. Like you'll listen back and be like, oh, I never even heard that being in the song, or I never even noticed that was in the song. Like it's one of those records like you just listen from the beginning to end, and it's just you don't skip a song. I love it.
And well, the thing is, like back then, where we're listening to those albums, like the headphones we're listening on
Yeah,
were not the best headphones.
yeah.
So it's like, you know, I'm getting close to 30 years old.
Shit,
You know,
man,
like
we're old.
yeah, we're old. So you know, like I could go and buy myself a good pair of headsets, you know, like and you know, or headphones, and
Mhm.
oh my god, just hearing the music is a whole different. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I have to go back and listen to these albums, and yeah, that's one of those albums where you go back and like Pierce the Veil just kills it. Like you just hear every little thing, dude. It's freaking amazing. And for me, it's just like I don't care if you're contagious. That's another good one from
Yeah.
that album. Bulletproof Love. Oh
Yeah,
man,
dude.
dude, that's it's a good
It's
pick. You
look,
picked a good album, dude.
yeah, that's it. It just has a lot of different styles, and see that's the thing. Like we were talking about fusion and like fusing like these different genres and bands evolving. I feel like Pierce the Veil is one of those like bands that has been doing it since the beginning, and they've been evolving since the beginning since they started writing, even from when they were before today. Is it before? What was their old band?
Before
It
today.
was it before today. Even back then when it was just Mike and Vic, like they were already doing something like fusing punk with like these salsa rhythms and these like different like styles, and they've done it really well over the years. And when they come out with a new record, I think it's gonna be one of those like game changing records again because they've done it over and over the years. I've ran into people that are not fans of Pierce the Veil, but I mean, they're just a good band. Like they're good musicians. Like they kill it every time. They're good live, and they know how to like. They've been evolving for over the years, and definitely have been setting an example for the scene for a very long time. And yeah, starting with Selfish Machines. It was one of those records where everybody I feel like was just like, whoa, like we could do that, like hell yeah, you know what I mean? Like I always feel like there's always a band that has to open the door, and then everybody's like, okay, like we're allowed to do that now, you know, because it's scary. It's scary as a artist or musician or band or whatever to try new things, but that's what it's all about, you know. And you get the brave bands or artists that are like, fuck it, I don't care what they say, I'm gonna go do it, and it works out, and sometimes it doesn't. So Pierce the Veil, Selfish Machines, definitely. And Blue Eyed Girl, if you're, you know, Blue Eyed Virgo Girl, if you're listening, you know, thank you so much for the questions, and let us know, you know, and we'll probably have a post or something this week from this new episode, but you know, leave a comment and see what was your, you know, what's the record you would listen to, front to back. And anybody else listening, leave a comment if you're listening on iTunes or wherever. Leave a comment and let us know what record you would listen to from front to back. And you know, yeah,
or just any question you guys have, and you guys are more than welcome to join us on the podcast. We're
heck
pretty
yeah,
much available. So, you know, like we want to have you guys on too. It's not just
yeah,
us that want to talk. Like we're a community, and you know, like that's why you know Alex and I started this podcast. Like
yeah.
we want all of us to stick together and continue supporting these bands that we've been listening to for a very long time, and you know, like just keep the love flowing.
Heck yeah, it's it'll be good times. So, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
It was
It was good, man.
a lot to talk about today.
Definitely, and you know, there's of course there's more to talk about in the next episode. There's some bands we didn't talk about today that I totally forgot about, but I'm gonna save it for the next episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Fever 333. Just
Oh
saying.
yeah, dude, that tour with Thrice.
Just
Damn.
saying.
Yeah,
Just saying.
that's a good
But
record.
we'll talk about that next episode. But I've
Yeah.
been on that too, so
Yeah.
we want again, guys. We want to thank you for listening wherever you're from in this world. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, of course, hit us up on the IG or you know
We
Twitter.
don't have a Twitter yet, right? Do we?
Yeah, we do have a Twitter.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't even know that.
we have a Twitter.
Oh, all right. Well,
Uh,
yeah, Twitter, Instagram, and I think we have a YouTube page. I haven't uploaded a lot of the episodes on there, but I will try and get this new one up on YouTube this week. So if you guys want to listen on YouTube as well, you guys can go subscribe and like and all that, and check that out as well.
yeah, it's a emo album revival podcast.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
much the same
IG.
across the board, right? Everywhere.
Everything's yeah, it's the same.
So yeah, just type that in on every platform. You guys can find us on, you know, LinkedIn. I just playing. Yeah, but yeah.
You could give us your banking account and we could take some money.
Any sponsors out there you guys want to sponsor, it'd be greatly appreciated. But yeah, much love to everybody. Like we said, we appreciate you guys so much, and we're grateful for having you guys listen and you know, hear us blabber about how we're old and how we miss the old days.
How much I'm loving the new days.
Yeah, the new days are good too. We have a lot to look forward to.
Thank you guys very much for listening. This is the Emo Album Revival Podcast, and I am Ramiro.
And I'm Alex.
And we're so happy for you guys to check us out and listen to us talk about the scene that we love so much.
Yeah. All right. So stay sad, kids, and don't do drugs.
New year, same emo.
Yeah. Bye.